I have the pleasure of introducing David Vener, who's the Associate Professor of Anesthesiology and Pediatric Cardiac Anesthesiologist at Baylor and Texas Children's. Dr. Vener chairs the Pediatric Cardiac Anesthesia component to the STS database, and he's going to talk to us about innovations that affected anesthesia.
Thank you. Thank you yes, it's really a pleasure to be here. For those who don't know, I started my career at All Children's, and it's I spent 10 years there that were incredibly formative years, and it's truly an honor to be here. I appreciate the invitation. I'm going to be the first one that talks about an innovation rather than innovators. All right, but I got your attention, which is the point. So this is the Nellcor N100, which I think most of you in this room will probably recognize. It is, as in Severinghaus and Astrup said, it was arguably the most significant technological advancement ever made in monitoring the well-being of patients during anesthesia, recovery, and critical care. As some background, oxygen saturation measurement was first characterized in the 1930s, and then it developed through the 40s using two-wavelength differentiation absorption. And the first commercial product using this came out in the early 1970s from Japan. And then in 1983, the Nellcor company released the N100, which was the very first one to use that patented variable pitch pulse tone that you just heard. The effect of that was to now cause surgeons' heads to spin rapidly towards anesthesia on a regular basis. So audible pulse oximetry with sonification, which is the term referring to that changing pulse tone, is now the standard of care and is considered the standard of care in the ICU, in the operating room, on the floor. It is what gets everyone's attention when you hear that change in tone. There's no more need for the surgeon to say the blood looks dark, which is what they used to say. There's no more unexplained bradycardia. There's no more unexplained or unrecognized hypoxia. And it's an early warning for badness. Clotted shunts, residual lesions, respiratory compromise, poor cardiac output or shock, and also the successful resuscitation. And now newborn pulse oximetry screening is the standard of care in most states in the United States and throughout the world to reduce the inappropriate discharge of newborns with undiagnosed congenital heart defects. So every technology, though, has its limits. It's actually only accurate number-wise above 90%. As saturations decrease below 90%, the error rate becomes as high as 10% or greater, and the correlation with the actual measured PO2 becomes very unreliable. And it's only really reliable in cases of adequate perfusion. It is not at all reliable in cases of shock or non-pulsatility. Finally, I want to put a plug in here for Lifebox, if y'all are not familiar with the Lifebox organization. This is a World Health Organization sponsored and NGO that provides pulse oximetry to needy countries. You can contribute $250 and they will provide the pulse oximeter and the equipment and the training to go with it. They're now in distribution throughout Africa and throughout the rest of the world. You can reach them at lifebox.org, and it's a very, very good use of your charitable dollars. It'll help save lives around the world. Thank you very much.